And then they go on and say, you can tell if you feel good. You can tell when you don't. There's little else if you have entering your awareness from the lower levels of the mind. You are rarely conscious of breathing, yet you breathe. You are rarely conscious of your heartbeat, but it keeps on beating. You do not know that certain cells need regenerating, but it goes on ahead anyway. All the bodily functions go on whether you're aware of them or not. So basically, what they say, it's subconscious, below your conscious level of awareness. And then they go to the next level of the mind, and then we'll see how that enters our awareness. The next level of the mind that we come to is the level where the animal emotions enter our mind. This level is mostly subconscious and beyond our awareness. Does this level have any influence on us? And they say, in truth, about half of life is controlled by this level. What is our awareness of this level? We haven't been taught much that is true about the emotional influence that sweep over us. The fact is that the source of emotions affect us greatly, but we know little about them. In terms of being aware of them, we are taught rather that the monkey is dead, and we are now a logical and superior human being. If those bad emotional things get in the way of our life in any way, we had better get them taken care of. If we do become aware of these emotions, it is again considered bad, and we should erase them from our awareness. There is that little movement of late that is trying to teach us to get in touch with our emotions. Most of that movement revolves around the attempt of some to get the rest to play in their field, which is manipulation of those who manipulate emotions very well, trying to get those that don't do emotions to join in their game so that they can manipulate them. And then they say, still there is the beginning of what is to come, gently flowing through the cracks of this concrete world. That which is to come, being more aware of our emotions. Then they go on to the tough part, hard part. Here again we wonder at the skill. What are you taught about emotion? What you are taught bears no resemblance to this. It is at this point on the mind of man that half of what man is and does is determined. Man is emotional. Man is half monkey. That half is expressed, motivated, moved, coaxed, pushed, manipulated, controlled, and whammied by emotion. We ask again, what are you taught about emotion? First thing they said was, man is half, I dare say a lot more than half, but at least half, pushed, coaxed, manipulated, controlled, and whammied by emotion. So what were you taught about emotion? This is what you're taught about emotion. It is a woman thing that should be controlled or ignored. It just makes you look like a fool. Get control of yourself. You'd better go see someone. Take a pill. Even the women of today who are held in high esteem strive to prove they are just as unemotional as any man. Are we again trying to erase all traces of one part of the mind? Do you understand what they're saying there? Even the women who are held high esteem, those ones that have finally gotten there, those women who have finally made it, they're just as controlled as men. So, what are they trying to tell you here? Man is controlled at least half by his emotion. That's a fact that they're pointing out to you. What are you told? It's a woman thing and should be controlled or ignored. Just makes you look like a fool. Get control of yourself. You'd better go see someone. Take a pill. Get rid of it. Don't let it out. It shouldn't exist. You're not normal if it exists. See? Over and over again, this conspiracy. Over and over again, this lie. Better lie. And that's what they're saying. You're being lied to. And they go on. And they say that when the time finally comes that the lack of understanding about emotion causes a person to have serious problems, he is then quickly whisked off to a private room, and an expert, quote, quote, expert, begins the process of telling the patient small pieces of the truth. Enough small pieces of the truth so that person can get over that serious problem and get back to work. That's basically what they do. And then they kind of as a sub-note say, that is enough to get the patient back to productive life. And they also say, if society demanded to know what it was that the expert taught the patient, there would be the beginning of an understanding of how insane man truly is at this point in time. How insane man truly is at this point in time. It doesn't happen, it won't happen as long as man continues to believe what he is taught. If man knew what these experts taught these people that are having emotional problems, if man knew what your psychiatric expert teaches these people that are considered insane, you would have to come to the conclusion that man was truly insane himself. What are they saying? If you knew what they were teaching people to get them back into the productive world, you would realize how insane man really is. They said it's not going to happen, and it never will happen as long as man continues to believe what he is taught. The lie. One big, huge, massive lie. If you knew the truth of that lie, you would realize that man is insane. That's what they're saying. That's what they said. So then they say, let's go back to this level then and see just what it is that enters our mind and how much of it finally gets to our awareness. And they're talking about this subconscious level now, this emotional level. As we said above, the animal kingdom is ruled by emotion. Man is also greatly ruled by emotion, and as with the animal, it is its subconscious manifestation. When asked, there are very few humans who can talk about their emotions with any degree of accuracy. Emotions sweep over, they don't come as a thought-out process. The source is not known. The reason is not known. The relative value of an emotion is almost impossible to determine, and how are you going to react to it minute by minute is unknown. So, big blank spot there. Does it enter our awareness? Probably to some small extent. What are we told to do about it? Get it taken care of. What's the matter with you? So, back when we were having pain from the first part of that thing that enters our awareness, they were told to get rid of it, take a pill, and get on with life. When you have emotional problems, you're told to take a pill, get yourself together, forget it, go see somebody. So you can see that there's a concerted effort to hang your awareness in the center 6 key to the keyboard. If you get out to the lower level subconscious and you become aware of pain, take something to get rid of it. If you're in that mid-range where the emotions are coming in, go see somebody and get yourself made normal so you can continue to function in this concrete world. They're trying to tell you that there's a conspiracy, there's a lie, there is a effort to keep you from knowing what's going on. So they go on. The 5 sources of emotion all enter our awareness, if at all, by the coloring or modifying of the input to the brain from the 5 senses and the changing of the value we use in our thought processes. And they say, that sounds like a bunch of words, but let's look at the sentence. The 5 sources of emotion enter our awareness by changing what we see, feel, taste, smell, and hear. Do these emotions change what we sense totally? Sometimes. That means that your input from the world around you is not the same nor real at all times. That input is what you use to make sense of this world. We would have you understand that the input can and is manipulated by emotion. You don't see what you think you see. You don't hear what you think you hear, and so on. Your ability to be truly aware of what is going on around you depends on the level of emotional influence you are experiencing. That was the first part of that sentence. That understanding that emotions influence. No, you see, why? What's the problem? You're using your logical, concrete, mathematical side of your brain. The concrete, logical, mathematical side of your brain interprets the 5 senses. And if you can't feel it, see it, taste it, touch it, smell it, hear it, it doesn't exist. whoops, they just told you the emotions are between that which is being sensed by your external organs and that which gets to your brain. You're being told that the emotions influence the input to the logical part of your brain. So your logical part of your brain is determining what to do on the basis of material that is coming in that isn't necessarily correct nor valid, because it's being modified by emotion. So that's why they're saying that you think that you're logical and your solid concrete material taste, your five sense logical systems, because those can be trusted. They can't be trusted. They're influenced before they even get to the brain by emotion. That's what they said. Does it sound like a little thing? No, it's not a little thing. You're using invalid data. You're using modified input to determine how this world is.